In this video, I'll demonstrate adding an MSP customer using the Ruckus Cloud MSP Portals dashboard. So here we're going to log into the MSP dashboard. And when you log in, you're going to see three major tabs. You're going to see Customers, you're going to see MSP Licenses, and this will list the licenses that are assigned to the MSP. And in a normal situation, that MSP would have several hundred or maybe even 1,000 or more licenses. Here, since this is a test portal, we only have a few licenses. We have one trial and 10 basic AP licenses, and then we have switch licenses. And in this case, we have 10 switches. We have one trial and we have 10 switches. Under My Account, that would be the information for the account users, who is the account manager, and the account email, and so forth. So back under Customers, what we're going to do is add an MSP customer. So for MSP customers, the MSP buys the subscription licenses from Ruckus, creates customer accounts with their own MSP brand, and the customer calls the MSP for all Level 1 and Level 2 support. The MSP will then assign the licenses to their customers. They will set the expiration date, and then they can reassign the same licenses to a different customer at the end of the expiration dates if required. So before I demonstrate adding a customer, I want to point out a little bit about the portal settings. So if I click on Portal Settings, this MSP customer will have a branding. Now in this case, we've set up a custom logo and we're calling this one Bio MSP. And if I roll over this little arrow out here, it just gives you a little sample of what that would look like. We have an analytics header, and these can be changed and customized. And that would show the Analytics tab. Then we have a customer login. So this is what you're going to see when the customer logs in. They're going to get a username and a password, and that's what it's going to look like. Then you would have customer support emails. And so what happens is when that customer is assigned, they will get an email that looks similar to this, and we'll be demonstrating this. And then you'll have some alarm notifications, and it just gives a sample of what that looks like. You could do the CommScope Ruckus logo if you wanted to use those, but we're going to use the custom logo for Bio MSP. Okay, if I wanted to add a logo, I would just click on this and I could put in a different picture. Notice another thing here. Under custom domain, we have, in this case, Bio MSP, and I'm putting that in there because this is what our theme is here. This could be anything. This could be Galaxy. This could be Art Studio. This could be some name of a coffee shop. So this is the custom domain here, and then it's followed by .msp.ruckus.cloud. So this is what the person is going to log into. We have third-party portal providers if we wanted to set some of those up, and we could select from the drop-downs that we have here. We will have some support links, and in this case, we could set up information for contact support, for open a case, and for my case. So we can customize all that, and then we would have the contact information over here. So I'm going to cancel out on this. Now what we're going to do is create an MSP customer. So I would do Add Customer, and I'm going to give the customer a name, and I'm going to call this customer Awani Art. I would put in the address, and I select the address and put it in there. And now we're going to assign Wi-Fi licenses. We have paid licenses. We have 6 out of the pool that we have, and normally this would be several hundred or several thousand. So you're going to assign so many licenses to that. And if we want to give them a trial license, we would select that. So I'm going to put in 2 licenses for Wi-Fi, which means these would be 2 AP licenses. And then we could have assigned switch licenses. So we've got 11 available. I'm just going to put in 1 as a demo here. If we also had trial licenses, we could do that. Then we have the start date of the service, which is going to be today's date, and then we can set an expiration date. So I can do a custom date. I could do 5 years, 3 years. I could do 90 days. So maybe this is a seasonal business, and they only want to be in business for maybe half a year or 1 year. Or maybe 90 days. So let's just select 90 days, and that will give my service expiration date, and it sets this as 3 months out. Under the MSP administrators, you can manage these. We've already set these up, and these are the people that administrate this site. So we'll cancel on that. And then under the customer administration, this is the name of the customer that's going to receive the email. So I'm going to put in an email here. JP for Better Wi-Fi. So I've got JP for Better Wi-Fi at gmail.com. I'll put in a name and I'll call this person John Doe. And the role is going to be the prime administrator. And now if I click on add, it will add this customer. So I'll click on that. It'll add the new customer. And then it'll say adding new customer a little bit later. And after about 30 seconds or so, it'll come up and there we have our customer. So now we've added a customer into the MSP portal. So this MSP has, let's say, 1,000 licenses. They're going to manage 100 customers, and I've just set up this customer, and I've given that customer several AP licenses and a switch license. Now, I'm going to put on the customer's hat, and I'm going to go to my Gmail account. And you'll notice here that I have an email that has come in from Ruckus Cloud. It says you've been invited to manage a cloud-based Wi-Fi network. So I'm going to click on this. Notice here that it has the Bio MSP. That's the branding that we set up. And it says you've been invited to manage this cloud-based Wi-Fi network. Please note by accepting the invitation, you agree to the terms and conditions, and it gives you the information. It's going to give you a logon email address. Notice that that's the one that we put in there, JP for Better Wi-Fi. It has a fairly cryptic password here, so I'm going to copy that because I'm going to need it. And I can click here to log in or paste the URL. So now I'm going to log in to that website. So I'm going to click here. And it brings up the Bio MSP, so I'm going to put in my username, and that would be the email that I had. So that was my JP for Better Wi-Fi at gmail.com. The password is the one I copy and pasted, and now I'm going to select Sign On. Now, the first thing it does is it says I need to change my password, so I'll copy and paste the current password that I have in there, and now I need to put in a new password. So I'm going to copy and paste one there. And now I'm going to hit save, and then it'll go ahead and log me into that portal. And this will take a few seconds. And after about 20 seconds or so, it says, welcome to the Ruckus Cloud. Let's get started. So the first thing that I would do is I would enter in the serial number of an access point. So now I would begin to enter my access points and my switches, since I have a license, in this case, for 2 APs and 2 switches. I'm not going to do that because I just wanted to demonstrate getting into this. So I'm going to cancel out on this. So this is now the portal. The customer has now logged in to this Ruckus Cloud account that you set up, and they have been given several licenses. So for example, if I go to the administration tab and I go under my license tab, you'll notice here that I have a total AP usage of 2, and then if I click on the switch tab, that it says that I've used 0 of 1. So I've got 1 switch and I've got 1 AP. So from this point on, I can use this dashboard. I can go ahead and set up my APs and my switches for this Awani Art Studio. So that's how we create a customer account. Now let's go back to the MSP account for a bit, and I want to just show you a few things. Let's say that this customer decided, hey, you know, business is doing great and I want to add a few more APs or add a few switches. I could go in here and I could click on edit. I could add more licenses, more Wi-Fi licenses for APs or more switch licenses. I could change the service date. If I wanted to tweak the customer administrator, I could do all this kind of thing. So I just wanted to show that. I could resend an invitation if for some reason something happened and they didn't get it. I can deactivate the account. So if I click on deactivate, it says that it'll deactivate the Awani Art and it will suspend all its services. It's not going to take the licenses away, but it's going to suspend everything. And if I click on the down arrow, and it'll give me a little bit on the deactivating of this customer. So we'll cancel on that. Now, the last thing is if I wanted to delete that account, I could select it and delete it. I'm not going to do that because I want to show one thing. Over here, we were logged into this account. This was from the customer's perspective. If I am the MSP admin and I want to check on that particular account, I could click on the Awani Art, and this is going to log me into that account. And as you can see, it looks very similar. We haven't set anything up. So this is from the MSP's perspective, and this is from the MSP customer's perspective. It is the same Ruckus account. And here the customer is looking at it, and here the MSP provider is being able to look at it. So let's go back to the MSP portal. And now let's say that it's been the end of the season or the end of 6 months or whatever the duration was, and now I wanted to not just deactivate that account, but I wanted to delete that account. And I can hit delete. Are you sure you want to delete the customers? And then I would say delete the customers. And when you delete the customer, what's going to happen is those licenses will go back into the pool and they can then be reassigned to new customers. So we can now see that that customer has been deleted and those licenses have now been restored to the pool. So this is how you add an MSP customer using the Ruckus Cloud MSP Portal dashboard.